and you will never become one. This is horror movie news.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Sid, don't you blame
Don't blame the movies.
Movies don't create psychos.
They don't create
Movies
psychos.
make psychos.
But we do have a psycho in studio that we're gonna ask him. What's up?
Psycho.
Is that true? Welcome everybody to Horror Movie News. We are on episode 21, and we are coming from you live here in Los Angeles. It is nice and wet, but we are nice and dry, which is awesome. I am your host, Anthony Becerra. You can actually not find me anywhere. You can't find me, but just find me later, actually. And to my left.
Hey, my name's Carrie Lane. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey guys, I'm Oliver Drennan.
And I'm Lucretia Lyon.
And the leader of the Sunny Cole family, Elias himself, Russell Cummings.
That's
right. In studio.
Yes. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, thank you so much for being in.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate it, man. We'll get into that more later. We'll share all your juicy goodness and how to be a successful cult leader, you know. But for now, let's do some house cleaning. There's some dead bodies we gotta clean up. So where to follow us is you can follow us on youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network, as well as our show Twitter at Horror News PTN, and follow us. Oh yeah, you can also look at our site at popcorntalknetwork.com, and last but not least, Apple Podcasts. You just type in Horror Movie News and leave a 5-star rating. That would be very great, and we'll be very grateful for you. And yeah, just send any feedback, any comments. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating. Click the like button and all that good stuff. Right on. All right, I gotta take a breather. Sorry, I winded me. Right.
You're just that excited.
That was a lot of talking.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. Oh, jeez. My phone. All right. So yeah, let's get into our first segment. So first segment is The Abyss, pretty much what films we've been watching. So I've been talking too much already, I feel like.
Yeah, shut up, Anthony.
Yeah, I know. Let's go to Lucretia right here.
Me, well, I got to see an early screening of The Strangers Pray at Night, but it is out now. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily, it was like the first one is same premise, which is interesting, and the first one was really good. I thought this one, the music was really great, and I liked the throwback credits. But you kind of wanted these people to die because they were so stupid. So that was like, I was
But
like,
do you enjoy watching it then? Because you want them to die?
Yeah, like the death scenes are really cool and everything. But yeah, you're like, why are they doing that? Like you say, if you don't want to be a victim, don't act like a victim. Yeah.
Straight up, yeah. So like compared to the victims in the original Strangers, is the original Strangers like smarter? Like the victims themselves, are they smarter than the new Pray at Night Stranger victims?
Yeah, because I don't want to give up too much in the movie, but yeah, like the few people that you actually are like that actually think just of course go away instantly, but yeah, then you're just like, okay, well, I'm stuck with these idiots. Like, now I want them to die.
Yeah, okay, right on. Well, actually, I'll go after you because I last night saw The Strangers.
Oh yeah,
the original, the first one, released in 2008, and I wasn't sure if it was like a weird like Mandela effect for me. I was like, have I seen it? Have I not seen this movie? I can't remember it. Once I started watching, I was like, yeah, I haven't seen this movie. But it was quite the delight. I like the way that they use atmosphere and the tone to really scare you, but also like stress you the hell out. Like I saw this movie like 1 a.m, and I was just like so stressed in my bed. I was just like, this movie cannot be any more stressful. Any little sound in my room, I was like, oh, what is that? The strangers are here. They're gonna like, I live with a bunch of people, so like I could hear the door in and out. I was like, that could be one of them, you know? Like, like you never know. Like, and I love how I was reading some stuff on it and how it broke the mold of how death and like just killings are just so random in life, and it's not like there's no meaning to it. Like this death, there's no meaning. There's not what.
Yeah, they stick with that and Pray at Night.
Right?
Yeah.
Like why Liv Taylor the whole time she was like, why are you doing this to us? And it really doesn't matter. But like one of the three killers says, because you were home. And I was just like, yeah, that's usually why it happens too. Like you could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time and get just brutally murdered in this world. And this is actually so this is like post 9/11 as well. And it's like it's kind of like saying that like it doesn't matter where you are, you can be killed like anywhere really.
Yeah, as my grandma used to say, if God wanted you to die in a plane crash, he'd crash it through your house, Donnie Darko style. I mean, I added the ending, but yeah.
That's a good reference.
Yeah.
Also one of my favorite movies. Yeah, Donnie Darko. Right on. But yeah, I really enjoyed the film. I gotta say, 10 years strong now. And
Still holds up.
Still holds up for me. He says for the first time, I'm just like, oh, this is all in. No, it was really great. Up to the ending where they start going at it. I'm just like, oh man.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh man, it's so good.
This week you got some homework,
I know,
girl. Liv Tyler, she's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Heavens.
Oh,
no,
go.
you Miss
All right,
Heavens.
I'll go. I know, right? Not exactly horror, but directed by Eli Roth. I saw Death Wish. And pretty much the easiest way to explain it is if you've seen the trailer, it's exactly what you expect. So, which is fine. I was like, yeah, that looks cool. It does take too long to get to it because like any movie where you know somebody's going to die or something's going to happen to a character, you know it's going to happen. So it takes a little too long to get there, but I feel they do that to establish the relationship so you care more that, you know, people die. But the deaths are so good it's Eli Roth. Like, they're just, like, ick. Like, so gross and disturbing. Yeah. Like, the part you see in the trailer of, like, the car with the car jack.
Oh, yeah.
You see so much good gore with it, and it's, yeah, you're just like, oh, my audience, they're, like, people cringing and stuff. So, yeah, it's fun, and also with, versus, I haven't seen the original, but what I was talking with someone about is, Bruce Willis is not skilled from the beginning the way the original one it has like the main character skilled. Like he has to learn how to use a gun. He has to learn how to do different things. And so that was kind of cool to have like a regular person.
Gun
like he
safety.
wasn't like perfect. Well, technically the movie's almost like an ad for NRA or against because it's like defending your home with the gun. You're like because he has like an automatic weapon like later that you're like, do you really need that? But I enjoyed it and I liked how they went about it and it was really interesting with that movie because I don't know if you guys remember the first trailer. It was like cool vigilante justice and then there was like some more recent shootings and then it was like man defending his family. Like they totally changed the tone of that trailer,
which was classy of them.
Yeah.
I will say because I mean it's not like they're going to shelve this $1 million movie, nor should they because I mean whether it is just a movie, you know, and while you know they don't want to show it to everybody, you know what it's about and at least you can go there of your own accord.
Yeah. No, totally. Exactly. It's what you see in the trailer is pretty much what you get.
And I think
but I enjoyed it.
a lot of productions did that as well, kind of censor themselves. Like The Punisher was a little like they
pushed it back.
Yeah, they did that with
Yeah.
Punisher and American Horror Story. They you know how to edit a lot. So in regards to the shooting and stuff like that.
And then it doesn't have anything horror or supernatural, but sort of. I saw Tomb Raider last night, which I enjoyed. It's very good action. Alicia is a great Tomb Raider. Totally buy her as that. I don't know if it's really in the trailer because I'm like, like there's the quest that her father had gone on, and then she goes on. Hints at supernatural, and I really like what they do with it. I'll just say that.
Yeah, because the games did that.
Yeah.
There was always hints of supernatural. So yeah.
Especially with the rebooted game. So
Yeah.
I have never played it, so I'm interested in like both playing and seeing what they do with the
Well,
film.
apparently the movie has a lot exactly similar from the game. So if you dig it, then
Gamers
So
will
could
like
this
it.
be?
yeah,
Yeah, I was
gamers
about
will
to
be
say,
excited.
could this
A
be
good game?
Yeah,
one,
a good game. Our first good game.
Yeah, I mean it's.
first,
My friend, she leaned over and she's like, yeah, I've totally played the game. Those are exact scenes from the game, and she really liked it. And so I'm like, yeah, no, totally. Like, and then, Alicia, there's a scene early on, and she's like doing boxing, and that girl has like 6-pack abs. So you're just like, damn. Let's put away the cheeseburger. No, and then I also watched 2007. It was recent. Wish Upon.
Okay.
I saw that one. It's on Amazon.
That was last year, right?
Yeah, I was like, it was just last year,
Yeah.
right? I remember the trailer, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Was that Blumhouse? I think it was.
I don't recall. I liked it. It was it's not amazing, but it has a very Final Destination vibe, like how the people are gonna possibly die. Because the thing is, when you make a wish, somebody essentially has to die for it. And then the thing
Like
I don't.
Wishmaster, which I love those.
Yeah, no, I love the
franchise,
80s classic. But the thing that's a little annoying is she's very teenager. Like, I want to be popular. I want the boy to like me. I want, like, live in a better house. Like, her wishes are really mundane. But luckily later, other characters are like, you are a moron. Like, this is all you wished for. You could have wished for something better.
People died for these wishes.
Yeah, and then there was reasonable people pointing that out. But then it almost goes like the thing is almost like a drug. Like, it just starts making you addicted to
wishing?
try to get rid of that. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So I thought it was pretty darn cool. Not amazing, but cool.
Right on.
Well, I finally got to see Red Sparrow.
Ooh.
Did you guys see it?
I haven't
yet.
seen. I
I want to.
Yeah.
I wasn't too blown away by it, honestly. Like, I'm glad I saw it. I think the trailer and the marketing just behind all of it was a lot more interesting than the actual final product of it. I love Jennifer Lawrence. I've loved her since Winter's Bone. I know a lot of people do not like Jennifer Lawrence anymore just because she's like overly saturated and whatnot. I still love her. I think she's a phenomenal actor. I didn't like her wigs because for 95% of the movie she's wearing like a wig. I think one scene she was not wearing a wig. You know, she goes through the hair transitions to brunette, and I'm like, that just ruined the movie for me. I'm like, she's wearing a wig.
Now is the character
her hair
wearing
looks
a wig?
perfect. Like, it looks so perfect. No, her character's
It's
not.
not-
It's like supposed
oh.
to be her natural hair.
Oh, really?
That's
And so
worse.
I'm like,
Yeah.
even she's in the hospital, yet her hair looks flawless. Like, how does this? And that's just me being super
No, that
so
could be very
nitpicky.
distracting. Yeah.
But it was a very long film as well, and I thought like her character progress of becoming a sparrow was kind of really quickly established, and I felt like, I mean, I guess this is okay because the movie's also moving really fast, but it seems a little weird because I don't know, like there was no origin behind her like becoming like this like secret agent, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
So it was a very, very, I don't know. I think I'm happy I saw it.
So you're saying like they like, blew through her whole like training montage of her becoming like a red
A
sparrow?
little bit. I would
You
say
wanted
that.
more of that?
I think so.
Because that was like very interesting to
Yeah,
you.
and I think this film kind of, a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is kind of ruining the Black Widow movie, or this is so much like Atomic Blonde, and so, I don't know, I think.
Well, I think Wonder Woman pretty well still is like, yeah, but like Black Widow and of course Captain Marvel's happening. I'm pretty sure that those movies are going to be fine.
And
Yeah.
Tomb Raider just is coming out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They're still going.
Yeah, it's like there's plenty of female-led movies that are doing still well.
I think I have heard about Red Sparrow is that like Jennifer Lawrence's acting in it is like really great. Like she really goes, she like really
No,
goes
she's
for it
awesome.
and everything. Yeah.
I know her boobs are in it. If that
Her boobs are also in it, so if you want to see
I'm
them.
in.
I heard an NPR interview and like she talked about like, okay, normally she would turn down all the projects that had nudity because that just wasn't something she's into, but she really liked this story and wanted to push herself. So
And
I was
there's,
like, all right.
yeah, there's not a whole lot of action in it, but when there
Oh,
is,
really?
it gets brutal.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah,
Ew.
and the scenes that it gets brutal. So it is some horror aspects. There is one like torture scene that you was just like your jaw will drop. So if you're into that stuff, which you guys are, obviously, this is a horror show.
Jaw droppers.
I
yes.
recommend it though. Like, definitely
All
go
right,
see it.
all
And
Like
let me know what
shock
you think.
value style.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Skin.
Cool.
Skin. Ooh.
Skin.
All right. That's
that's
creepy.
keyword,
That's like
skin.
That's like. Ugh.
But yeah, enough about.
Yeah. Have you
That's
been
that-
watching anything recently?
No.
No,
Imagination,
I
man.
haven't.
Wow.
I think the last movie I saw it was Hostiles with Christian Bale.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
Western.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
How
about to say,
was
another
it?
Western. You're right on.
Awesome.
Okay.
I wanna watch that
Amazing.
one.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. The ending had me a little choked up. It was really, really touching. But
Nice.
what some of the best acting Christian Bale has ever done, and that's saying a lot.
That's
Because the
great.
guy's amazing. He's such a beast.
I gotta say,
Yeah,
that's like
he was
his.
Batman and Bateman.
Is that like his second Western, right? Because he did 310 to Yuma
Did
too.
Yep.
Yuma, yeah.
That's the one. That's the last. Like not Western, but I just remember that movie so well too.
That was good too.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that
Russell
one.
Crowe.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I believe is that like a remake of the original? Is it?
Yeah,
yeah
310
right?
to Yuma, yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
black and white, like 50s.
Yeah, I love
whole-
westerns.
that whole Western
Me too.
crowd.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I need to see Hostiles, and yeah,
It's
now
so
I'm getting
good.
convinced.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's for me. It was one of those that kind of like flew under the radar, but I saw it on like buses and stuff. And I was like, oh, Hostile. I was like, oh yeah, that's
they
right.
didn't
Like I had to
promote it
keep
that
Nobody
reminding
saw it.
myself.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it. I felt like it.
The
a
marketing.
lot of the theaters didn't really play it. I saw it in London actually.
okay.
And when I came out here, I was trying to tell my family and friends about it, and they're like, "It's not showing anywhere."
Yeah.
Like, how can it not be showing anywhere? It's so good.
Dang.
But like you, I love westerns, so I don't know if it's as popular today as it used to be, but yeah, it was good. Good film.
Yeah, I think Westworld has kind of helped that come back into
Oh.
play.
Yeah.
Because
Totally.
Justified did a little bit, and that's when like 310 to Yuma and some of those things were coming out was when Justified was on the air. But now you've got, Westworld. I think you have to have something to remind people that Westerns are a genre. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and last year we had the
Yeah.
Hell or High Water, which I thought was
So
great.
Yeah,
good.
Hell or High
Yeah, that was
Water
a
was
modern
good.
day
Yeah.
western.
Yeah, that was really great. Oh man. Right on. So moving on to our next segment, we have the Crypt. So pretty much what film we recommend to people and what film you want to share. I actually have one that's like out of left field. It's called The Host. And it's actually a Korean monster horror movie.
Oh, yes.
With like family, there's like a family dynamics to it, which I thought was really great. It's directed by one of my favorite Korean filmmakers. His name is Jun Ho Bong, and he also wrote it. And the synopsis is: a monster emerges from the Seoulhan River and focuses its attention on attacking people. One victim's loving family does what it can to rescue her from its clutches. So pretty much, the monster comes out of the river, and they're all like they work on this like riverbed where like they feed people and stuff. And the main character has a daughter, and he's very like inadequate as a father, in a sense, like a failed father kind of thing. But like he loves his daughter, and the monster comes out, wreaks havoc, ends up snatching his daughter, and goes and takes her away. And the whole movie is them trying to find where the monster took her daughter, if she's still alive and everything. And the whole time it deals with their family dynamics. Like the brother comes into town. There's a beautiful scene where they're mourning the loss of her, and they're all crying and just like, but like absurdly, like over the top crying.
Oh, I love that scene.
And it's so good, but it's like
You've talked
it's
about
funny, but it has so much emotional weight to it at the same time that it's just like, how is someone able to make me feel these like weird emotions of like, man, they're mourning the death of their, because like in this point in the movie you're not sure if she's alive or what happened. You just know they took her. The monster took her, and then you're just like, wow, like this is fantastic filmmaking for me. Like it reached out, it touched me in a way, and I was just like, I can't believe you can make something so emotionally like heavy, but also so funny, and I really appreciate it. There's tons of also really great scenes in this film. Highly recommend it. It stuck with me when I saw it as a teenager when my uncle rented it, and we just saw it. I just like, oh, I'll watch it with you.
What kind of monster are we talking about?
It's like a weird like amphibious fish monster, but it has like think of it as like a tadpole, but huge.
Tadpole on steroids.
Yeah, like a tadpole, but it's
strong
the size
tadpole.
of this room, kind of. It has like a tail. Yeah, and
But
like
doesn't it have something that can like grab? And,
yeah, it has like little arms within its like abdomen and stuff.
But I thought it could reach far and grab people, because like the image is like a long like
that's
tentacle arm something.
No, that's the tail
her.
that's
the tail that
that's the tail that grabs it. So like he
I forget.
grabs it with
I
the
saw
tail.
it so long ago.
So was it
Yeah.
all practical, or
there are some good practical scenes, but for that it is CGI, but it's really good for the time, and I think it still holds up personally. Because it like a big thing with like CGI is like the lighting on whatever is fake. If that's right, then you have you have a really good
image.
Yeah, I highly recommend that one. The Host. It's one of my favorite like monster movies of the 2000s. It's a good watch.
Yeah, it looks better than half the stuff that's out today.
Yeah.
With CGI. Like it definitely holds up. I totally agree with what you say. It looks like it could have been made like yesterday.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
makes me want to rewatch it, because I'm like, I remember I
It's on
liked it, but I
Netflix,
was like,
too,
yeah.
right?
It's on Netflix. Oh yeah,
I was
that's
like,
right.
I think I even own it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
All right, who's next? Up to bat. All right, Oliver.
Colin.
No one's going. I'll pick
Well,
someone.
I was talking about this last week. Ravenous on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Oh,
Did you
I
see
saw
it?
that.
No, I haven't seen it yet. But I'm like,
It's a Canadian French film. And it's all in French, but there's really little dialogue, so it's almost as if the film doesn't even need any like at all
Okay.
dialogue. It's very easy to follow.
Very cryptic.
Yeah, I downloaded it on Netflix and I watched it on the plane when I was going to Oregon this weekend. And it was also very loud too, so I was just like, crap, stupid planes. But anyways, like it really didn't need a whole lot of dialogue to kind of like let you know what's going on in the film. But it definitely takes a different stance on zombies and whatnot. It also was so nostalgic watching it because it reminded me of like early Walking Dead, like season 1,
Yeah.
season 2, because it's set in like a rural setting. You know, there's a bunch of survivors basically, and they're out in the rural Canada, and you kind of get the feeling that zombies have kind of taken over the cities, and like everyone's safe in like these rural areas, but the zombies are coming out to try to like get everyone out of the rural areas and trying to just kill everyone. And so it also kind of like plays a little bit on religion, I think, almost, because there's really weird aspects of these zombies. They have very weird behaviors, and they kind of like worship like certain
Like the chair thing.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
weird Wicker Man status.
yeah,
Like
it's really weird. And I guess you have to like kind of like get your own interpretation
There's
of it.
no explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't looked it up yet, but
Yeah.
I was baffled. I was like, what?
It's a very weird film, so.
Yeah, I've seen a lot on this, and it's really intrigued me. And you say it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the being almost silent, there was a recent X-Files episode that did the same thing. And, you know, Buffy, when they did Hush, I mean,
Yes.
that really is a good,
Magicians
creepy
did it, too.
storytelling technique. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, it
my
was very
gosh.
like visually appealing for sure. Like I know Steve would say that the cinematography was like beautiful because we saw it was Steve, I, and Steven.
Sacre bleu is magnifique.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the cinematography is like
très bien.
fantastic in it. I have to agree. I feel like it was kind of like at the end I was just like, I don't know if it was because I was like a little tired. I'm not gonna lie, I dozed off while watching it because like
It's a slow burn.
it's super slow burn, but I just remember being like startled awake because it was like it just got loud, and we saw it in like the home theater. So I was just like, oh, like hey, I'm awake. But I don't know if that affected my viewing or not. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I just felt like it didn't pay off too much for me. Like I didn't really. I think it's good. It's like the product is good, but it wasn't for me. I like the new take, and I can appreciate the new take on it for like zombie genre and everything.
Yeah.
Because like zombies by this point are so like wrung out. They're so dried out.
Yeah.
It's like what else can you do with it? I was like, oh, let's do something
And
very
it felt,
cryptic.
you kind of felt like they were gonna do something with it, but they kind of teased it and didn't end up
And
doing
did-
it.
right,
You
yeah,
know, because
uh-huh.
it's like, do these zombies communicate? Is this how they like? Are they worshiping something? Are they trying to
Right.
like do some kind of ritual? You
Am I
don't
gonna
know.
see a UFO come out of the sky? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But I really like the sound they make. Like when they like call out or like it's like an alarm going off. It's really creepy. I like that part. That was cool. Sorry, I
No,
took
no,
over
no,
yours.
no,
Yeah.
no, totally fine.
Alright.
I'm glad when people see the movies that I see.
All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Yeah.
So one I saw a little while ago, but I was like, oh, it was really good. Is Lizzie Borden Took an Axe. It was a TV movie with Christina Ricci, 2004. So it's, y'all, I feel most people know the rhyme, but
Lizzie Borden had an axe. She gave her mother 40 whacks. When
Ooh.
she was done, she gave her father 41.
Yeah.
So in Massachusetts, 1983, Lizzie Borden is put on trial for murdering her father and stepmother with an axe. I enjoyed this too because it has a kind of low rating on IMDb, but I'm like, no, it's good. Visually, it's a nice period piece. I think Christina Ricci was great because it is the kind of like, why did she do it? And they explore that a little bit. I think it's Clay Duvall, and then Greg Henry's in it, and Stephen McHattie. So there's a lot of interesting people, and if you like kind of historical murder legends, it's a fun one to check out. I think I saw it on Netflix when I saw it. Directed by Nick Gomez and written by Stephen Kay. Yeah, it's one of those, if you like period pieces and murder, definitely one to check out.
So what was the reason that, or like, did they give a reason why she did what she did, or?
Actually, I
saw it a
never
little
know.
while ago.
I actually
I'm not going
know.
to tell you.
Yeah, like I know a little bit about what it was, and what they've always speculated is that Lizzie was a lesbian, and certainly at that time
yes,
it
with
wasn't
Clea.
accepted, and that I've heard like several places, like historically they've sort of looked at.
I think they hint
Yeah.
that in the
Yeah.
movie
And
too,
she's
as
a
I
real
recall.
person, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
This
a
actually
real.
happened.
This was on
Story.
I remember.
I think it was
on
a Lifetime?
Yeah, Lifetime.
But I think it
original.
was on Netflix when I saw it. So if you guys want to check it out, it's a cool one. So
Christina
Lizzie
Ricci's
Borden
pretty
Took an
perfect
Axe.
for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. They made a second one. I haven't seen that one yet, but it was like another one.
with Christina.
No.
It's called She Took a Shovel.
No. It was, let me see.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you make a sequel to
She
that?
becomes a lumberjack.
Yeah.
I'm
They
like,
hired
is
her as a
there-
lumberjack.
Well, there's a thing
Like
called
Dexter.
it's the Lizzie Borden Chronicles. I'm trying to
Okay.
load this.
Is that more like a series?
It is
Oh,
Christina
yeah.
Ricci though.
Interesting.
TV miniseries, 5 hours, 37 minutes. So I'll have to watch that and let you guys know. That one has a higher rating though, so I wonder if they did a
Ooh.
better job when they have more time to let
Yeah,
it
to
breathe.
serialize everything.
Why do you think it got such a low rating? You think it's just because it was like Lifetime style, or
Could be. Some people are like, with
put off by
Lifetime
that
movies.
already.
But then I also don't really care what people write on most IMDb
don't
reviews. They'll
either.
be like, give it a
Yeah.
5, and you're like, it was better than that. Come on, like 5 is when you go, meh.
yeah?
Yeah.
So if something has like an 8, I'm like, wow, that's high rated. Like it's hard to get an 8 and a 9 on there. So like the first one I mentioned, that has like a 5, and then this one has a 7.1. So I'm like, okay, that's a little better. So I'll have to check that one.
Yeah, the IMDb rating system is like pretty bad. I mean,
It's
most
fans,
fans
too.
is great,
It's
but
pretty-
it's like
Yeah.
this one's way worse. You're like,
Yeah,
seriously?
I've seen some, and I'm like, oh, I've seen worse than that number before, but yeah.
Yeah, they do provide the Metacritic score, which is I think kind of counterbalances everything.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that they're
Horror
like,
movies get the bad rap
Oh,
anyway,
dude.
so I
Yeah, I
never
know.
care what they say.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
meh.
yeah, I'm always just dive in.
Yeah, dive on in. But yeah, I actually picked this week because I did a podcast on it. Tori and Lex Michael, I don't know, viewers may know them because
Homo.
they're AfterBuzz hosts
Yeah.
that I host a lot with. They have their own podcast called Missing Out Podcast, where they talk about things that maybe one of them hasn't seen. And I came on this week because when I realized Lex had not seen Fallen and that's what they were covering, he was like, you have to come, because I was so excited. Because
I
this
haven't
is the
seen it.
greatest Denzel Washington movie of all time, guys.
Really?
And that's saying something.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
Denzel is
Move
a
over
cop.
fences.
Yeah, and like, yeah, exactly.
What movie are you talking about?
It's called Fallen, and it's a supernatural cop thriller with Denzel. And like, you know, in the beginning, you hear this guy is being
Supernatural.
executed, this serial killer. And, you know, he sings this creepy, you know, song, Time Is On My Side, the Rolling Stones one.
Oh.
And then, yeah, so like, but then you start seeing that.
John Goodman, right?
Yes, John Goodman
Yeah.
plays Denzel's partner.
That's right.
And then Donald Sutherland is the police chief and everything. So it's a great cast anyway. Even Embeth Davis, who was Sheila in Army of Darkness, is in
Also
it.
James Gandolfini.
Yeah, like Gandolfini.
Wow.
That was one of his earlier, you know, roles just before The Sopranos. And yeah, so you see like this entity then starts possessing other people once this killer is dead, and it's actually this supernatural being Azazel. So yeah, and then
What?
I won't spoil the ending because that's the best part. But yeah, like it's definitely a flip you on your head type of film, and I recommend it to anyone and everyone because
That movie is awesome.
yeah,
Really?
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so creepy.
John Goodman keeps singing time. It's like so creepy, but you're right. I forgot all about that movie. It's so good.
Yeah,
Denzel
and-
kills it.
98.
Yeah, the
I've
music
never
is
heard of
great.
this film ever.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
think I
Yeah.
have either.
I know, and it used to be on basic cable all the time
Yeah.
because me and my friends would just watch it like in the afternoons or whatever. But it would be played on like FX and USA.
Yeah.
Like, and then it would have been like the early 2000s, I think, was
Yeah.
when it would get a
Yeah.
lot of airplay.
It was released on 1998.
98, yeah. But yeah, it was like just before Denzel became like a big time movie star.
See, this is where IMDb
Yeah.
gets it wrong. Labeled as an action crime drama.
Yeah,
I was
like,
what?
yeah, like it is, but it is like a supernatural
Supernatural.
thriller.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
and that's the thing. That's why I decided to say that. And two, you know, listen to Missing Out.
Like
It's on iTunes.
Satan
Yeah.
is involved somehow.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it's a demonic possession
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
film. Yeah.
I'm into
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Denzel in a possession film? What? Like,
Yeah.
I'm down. Never would have thought. Oh, man.
And from my recommendation last week, Death House, I just wanted to give an update because it actually had to be held off for its release date. That was the, you know, Gunnar Hansen, who was Leatherface, originally wrote this, and you know, after his death, they decided to keep it going, and it's like basically the Expendables of horror. And it actually comes out this Friday because they wanted to give time for more Black Panther screenings, so they held off. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Smart
Cool.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart move. Right on. So this Friday, Death House.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, we actually, there isn't any horror films being released this Friday. Wide release or anything like major. It's still like Strangers was the biggest. But yeah, looking forward to Death House.
Yeah.
Boogity boogity.
Should be
Right
good.
on. All right, Russell. Do you have something for the Crypt? I think we talked about something outside.
You know, unfortunately, guys, I'm not a horror fan. So, like, I don't watch horror films, but I did watch a Western with Kurt Russell called Bone Tomahawk.
Oh yeah.
We talked about
yeah,
that,
dude.
yeah.
So I feel like that is kind of a horror film too.
Yeah,
in a way.
totally.
And it was amazing. So like listening to you talk about Fallen, it totally reminded me of Bone Tomahawk because it was some of the best acting like Kurt Russell's done in a while. It's like really scary, kind of supernatural, like weird, Neanderthal like people
Yeah.
going around
Savages.
set in a Western setting. So it was very cool and very like scary.
Yeah,
actually.
we actually had a scene. I'm sure you know that scene. I always say R.I.P. Nick. Never forget Nick. He's the guy who gets the wishbone.
Yes.
Okay, so we used to do a segment on the show that was like Death of the Week, and I showed it on here.
That was gnarly.
That
was one of the craziest death scenes I've ever seen.
Same for me. I saw it with my friends, and we lost our ish. We were just like, oh my god.
Dude, it was nuts.
Like, it was one thing to be like scalp. I was like, okay, we're just like, we're losing it already. Like, okay, and then no, shove it in his mouth. I was like, oh god.
They took it to the next level, and then the next level. It was crazy. So that was actually really cool.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, totally. Great recommendation.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's just awesome. So
Love
anything he's in, but yeah, the scalping scene always got me because I'm like, oh god. That's gross.
Right
that
on.
and tracheotomies just gross me out.
Ugh. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's focus on our guest here.
All right,
Mr.
guys.
Cummings.
Bring it on.
So let's see. Let's try to go in order here. So in 2011, you did The Legends of Hell's Gate.
Right.
Right on.
Yep.
Directed by Tanner Beard.
That's right. Yeah.
Filmed in Texas.
Filmed in Texas.
Hey.
Yeah, where I'm from.
Filmed in Texas with a great ensemble cast. Summer Glau was
I
in
love
there. Jenna Dewan Tatum. Henry Thomas, from E.T.
Oh, nice.
Gangs of New York.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, man, it was cool. It was a big cast. Really a lovely Western. And it just kind of like flew under the radar, and then we just we did another one right after that. We shot in Spain called Six Bullets to Hell.
Yeah, that came out in 2016 by also same Tanner Beard as well.
Right.
And you also
we co-directed it
Nice.
together, and it's a grindhouse western.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
it's like spaghetti grindhouse. We actually shot it in Spain, the same sets that they shot all the Clint Eastwood films, like Good and Bad and the Ugly.
What was that like? Because I'm sure you grew up watching those films, right?
100%. So
Yeah.
like I would look around and I'd be like, that's the sheriff's office. Holy shit, that's the mountain that he's walking up to. There's the trough that
Yeah.
Yeah.
he shot dudes and they fell over in or whatever. It was amazing, man. It was like a dream come true for me because I'm a Western guy.
Yeah.
What is it that you like about Western so much? Because clearly we're all horror fans.
Yeah.
But what draws you to the Western genre?
Just the drama. I think, growing up, my mom only watched Turner Movie Classics. So I just grew up watching just black and white television. And growing up in Texas, my family, they love John Wayne. So I just, whether I liked it or not, I'm watching John Wayne movies. But back in the day, they had it taught you how to be a man, and like just not put up with anybody's bullshit, but be honorable, like treat women with respect, ride a horse, shoot a gun, all that kind of thing. And I just kind of fell in love with the drama of it. And I always wanted to be a part of it. So when I actually got to Spain on the same sets that Sergio Leone was on, it was so surreal, and it's doing great. It's available on DVD if you want to go pick it up. It's won tons of awards, and it's almost kind of like a horror film too, because in a way it's almost like a grindhouse Western horror, really just good film.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, because most people don't think like Quentin Tarantino makes westerns now. That's
Yeah.
like Hateful Eight is a western. Inglourious Basterds is kind of a western, guys.
Yeah.
And then From Dusk Till Dawn, for sure, him and Robert Rodriguez
Yeah.
get together, and it's a western vampire play.
Yeah,
Like,
That's true.
they cross. Yeah.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of films these days they take the Western formula and they just kind of put it into things like now, like Death Wish. That could easily be a Western film.
Yeah.
If you think about it. But it's I love that genre. But we're talking about horror here, though.
But there are horror westerns.
horror.
Yeah.
Not many,
I was about
but
to
there's
say-
some. I talked about Dead Birds. That's a horror western.
yeah.
Never seen it.
It's bank robbers, and they hide out at a house to get away because they robbed a bank. But the house and the area around it's haunted. And so that's one we talked about on another review. Like,
Brought
why don't
that
they
up.
just leave? They can't really leave because, like, they're on
They're
the
wanted,
run.
yeah.
And also, I think the house kind of keeps them there. And that one's a pretty good one.
Also,
Burrowers as well. That one's also a horror western.
I was gonna recommend. Well, it's not really a horror, but I personally liked it as a western. It's The Quick and the Dead by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Quick and the Dead.
It
I
was
thought
a cool
was really
movie.
cool.
Cool
Yeah.
Sam Raimi, I mean, he's
I
most
love Sam
known for
Raimi, so I
Evil
was like,
Dead,
oh, he
so,
did a
yeah.
western. I like hopped on right away. I was not.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised, and I loved it. Yeah, it was great. with a young Leo.
Yeah.
Leo
And like, you know, speaking of Sam Raimi and his friends, Bruce Campbell had like a Western show, like, and you can get the DVD just about anywhere. Like, it's Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually have it.
Never heard of that.
Wasn't that on Nickelodeon?
It was pretty cheap. I think it was on Fox.
on Fox,
Yeah, because
okay.
Fox loves to cancel westerns like Firefly and that. But
Yeah, I
Space
remember
Western,
that.
yeah.
Adventures of
I
Briscoe
was like,
County.
it was very cheesy, but it was
Yeah,
fun.
it's
Yeah,
corny as
yeah.
hell.
Right on. All right, and you also mentioned that you're in the Name of the Gun. Right.
Yeah, that's a new film in pre-production that we're going back out to Spain to shoot. We love westerns.
Yeah.
We just want to keep making them.
And it's you and Tanner Beard again. So
That's right.
Right
yeah,
on, the
that's
duo.
My partner in
Yeah.
crime, man. We love it. He's it's funny, man. His girlfriend, she's a country music singer, and her grandpa is John Wayne. And so I'm like,
I actually interviewed Jennifer at Mammoth.
Oh, you did? Okay,
like,
so you
yeah,
know
she's so lovely. Yeah.
love her.
I know.
Love
Yeah.
her. But yeah, her dad's her grandpa's
Who's
John Wayne.
John Wayne? Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. And are you excited to be returning back to Spain?
I am,
believe
man.
it's-
I love Spain. I don't know if you guys have ever been, but yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, the south of Spain is amazing, and a lot of films are shot there. A lot of people don't know that Indiana Jones. I mean, mine's gone blank now, but I mean, thousands of films have been shot in the south of Spain, and it's just a magical, lovely place. It's the only desert in Europe. That's why they go there to shoot. You know, I don't know if you remember in Indiana Jones when he's on the tank, you know, and it goes off the cliff. You know, he's
Right.
fighting on the tank or whatever.
Yeah.
That was there, like that
Oh,
whole
wow.
desert thing. But yeah, it's great. I can't wait to go back, man. I've been there like 7 times, and I always have a great time when I'm there.
Right on.
People are amazing.
So in Son of Your Family Cult, I've seen you handle a knife, right? But like you've been in so many westerns, so can you handle a gun? Can you do like the whole like?
Yeah, I
spin
can,
and-
man. I can.
Yeah.
I can spin them pretty good.
Yeah,
I can spin
because
'em
like
pretty
they're
good.
actual like prop guns, so it has the right weight and everything.
Totally, they're real guns, real like 45 caliber guns, and you're on set all day, so you ain't got nothing to do but just spin them, and then you drop it and make sure like the gun guy ain't around, and you just
Dust
like
it
put it
off.
back in there and just go on about your business. But yeah, man, yeah,
I actually dressed up as a bandit this past Halloween. Oh my
Yes.
god! Everything.
Did you have
second.
the black band over
No,
there?
I had a bandana
he had a
and then just like a
uppy
hat.
okay,
Yeah. So I had the bandana
Gotcha.
and a hat and like the sick ass poncho just coming around. And I bought like a ammo belt, so I put it around
Oh,
me.
yeah, yeah,
bandolier
like it's-
kinda.
yeah.
Yeah, and I had the
Mexican style?
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually Mexican, so I was like, oh, perfect.
Gotcha.
I call
Pancho
myself Antonio Bandito.
Nice.
I was just like going around. Yeah, it was really fun,
Yeah.
man. So I gotta say, like, I know where it's at. Like, I wish I had
It's
an
fun,
actual
man.
gun, but
Yeah.
Spinning
But,
that gun
yeah,
around,
I've-
so sick.
Definitely ruined a couple guns or two.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it more of a Sunny Family Cult.
Let's do it, man.
All right, so it was directed and written by Gabriel Younes, produced by Brandon Garrett, and it can be seen on Crypt TV and also on their YouTube channel, Crypt TV YouTube channel. And some of the main characters, so we have Elias, which is you're the head of the
right.
cult family. And we also have Taylor, who's your daughter, right? Okay, so I wasn't sure because like the season 1 episode 4, like there's a family portrait, but it's like different parents. So I was just like, but I was like, all right, I'm still gonna.
It threw a lot of people off.
It
but-
was? I don't think I noticed.
Yes.
Yeah.
They tried to kind of skim over that.
Yeah,
You know,
there
but they
was-
didn't know what they had on their hands. And then, so
Exactly.
they went back and did a prequel, and then
Ah.
just were like, okay.
Because was that
just keep
originally
going.
the short that they
That was the
began?
short.
That's
that
what,
was
that's
the
what
short,
I thought.
and it like did really really well. And they were like, you know, the writers just had this really cool story that they wanted to add to it. So they the first 2 seasons were Taylor kind of growing up and us like slowly starting to get the cult moving and going. And then, you know, you get to episode 3 and, you know, she doesn't do her first kill
Right.
that we're trying to do, and it really upsets me as a father. You know, I'm trying to like, she's going to be the face of this thing someday, and I'm trying to teach her, you know, and so she goes a little overboard and decides to call her friends over and kill them all.
So do you? Okay, so that was more like a reaction of you scolding her, probably.
Right. I scolded her, and she was like, you know, because we set this
That
up.
was the pool boy, right?
Right,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was the pool boy
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Taylor liked her, you know, and
Yeah.
Taylor
Yeah.
kind of wants to know what it's like to be a normal girl, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm left with this, you know, uncommon responsibility to to hand over the reins to my daughter and teach her what it's like to be a stone cold killer.
Right.
You know.
So is this family like royal family in terms of it's the child of the leader that would inherit it?
You can think of it like that. It's like a king and a queen,
Yeah.
and you know it's that's why there's so much pressure on Elias to make sure that she takes over because she's the only daughter.
Yeah.
She's in Elias's mind, we are royalty in a way, you know. But yeah, she kind of takes it a little too far. Kills her friends.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it,
Rebellious teenage.
It's like
Teenage angst.
You only want to kill one person, so I killed like
I'm like, way to go,
Yeah.
honey.
what did I tell you about using a knife?
But it's more fun that way.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna need extra bleach. I was like, oh, geez, this is crazy. So yeah, Taylor is played by True Mullen. Karen, which is a mother, played by
Stephanie
Estes.
Yeah.
Yes. And in season 2, I want to touch on some characters that are introduced. That I believe it's Jennifer, but she goes by Jaina, which I was like, how does that work? Whatever. Anyhow.
Yeah, Jaina.
Is that the new friend?
The
right?
new friend, exactly.
I like her.
Yeah, she was cool.
Everyone
played
likes
by,
her.
Well, also, anybody else, I was liking the queer leanings with Taylor and her that I was like,
Yeah.
So
can we
that-
get more of that?
That is a
interesting.
fan
Service?
Shipping.
Fan
Yeah.
fiction.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
shit.
they're loving that, man.
Yeah.
They want them to be together so
Well, because
bad.
there's the scenes where, like, when Jane shows up on the birthday and brings a boyfriend, I'm like, ooh, no, that was supposed to be girl time.
Oh, yeah. And
like-
then he like has that whole vision
Yeah.
of her just like straight up
And she's so disappointed. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
too much conflict, because the thing about being a cult leader is you want many grandchildren.
I need
It's
children.
like,
Yeah.
I need children.
so,
Like that's
yeah.
gonna be an issue.
That's that
Like,
could be like
They
some
could still
season
have
3
babies.
like exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. So
Elias is pretty progressive though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you
good.
can-
You know,
they can adopt.
We'll talk.
Yeah. It's like we're gonna go steal a bunch of kids now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Jaina. We had Hannah, which is played by Maddie Howard. She is the daughter of the officer who's kind of like
Yeah.
investigating things, like
She's
the
an
local
interesting
sheriff.
looking girl. I like
Yeah.
that of like a visual choice of an actress. Of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was just like, ooh, she's stunning with her eyes. I was
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she recovered very fast by a axe to the
Right? I was confused. Did it actually hit her?
It's a scratch.
It hit,
Yeah.
like,
I thought it was her
Like, why didn't you
shoulder
straighten
and
her
her
mom?
side. And yeah, exactly. Same.
But I was like,
Show
okay,
the mom. Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah, a massive injury to the side, but she still dresses cute.
So, all right,
Yeah.
so she's X23.
Still walks around just fine.
yeah,
She's
tough
tough.
skin,
She's
tough
tough.
skin,
Yeah,
tough
I
in
gotta
more than
say.
ways.
Yeah.
Gotta say. And then here's a big one, the pin drop or anything. It's like Roger, played by Patrick Boylan. And there is a scene in season 2, episode 6, I believe it's the last episode, where there's like cutbacks to like these two people just going at it at an axe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's revealed that I believe it's Roger and Elias, right?
That's right.
And they're
Yeah.
brothers?
They're brothers.
Confirmed?
They're brothers confirmed. That's we are brothers.
That is crazy.
I
So
am,
I'm guessing there's some sort of fallout there.
Yeah.
How
there's some
close
family
in
drama.
age are they supposed to be?
Pretty close. I'm older, and he's younger.
Yeah.
But he got the They're
Like, it's
supposed to be
fine.
as-
It's just one of those I was kind of curious on their
Right.
dynamics.
But that actor Patrick, man, he's like so good. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like he plays that part perfect.
Yeah.
You know, he's so interesting to watch, that dude.
He had me confused because when he came up, I was like, the first time he introduced himself, he didn't introduce himself to Taylor, didn't ask for a name or anything, but it's that scene
Oh,
on
he
the
was
bleachers.
so sketch.
Right,
So sketch.
exactly.
But you were like, he's sketchy, but I don't know if he's
That's why I was confused.
You're
He's the
sketchy,
killer,
but
though?
you
I was
like
like-
him.
right.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, it's him. But I'm
Yeah.
like, but I like him.
But he has
though.
charm.
Yeah, he's
Very
charming.
charming.
He's got
Even when he's
charm.
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best killers, I think.
I know the
Like-
car when she's like, we passed the station. He's like, oh, you're rather
Oh,
observant.
perceptive. Yeah.
No, yeah. What does he say? He goes, clever girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, you know what he told me? I'll give you a little
funny.
insight on this. I was like, where'd you get that clever girl? He's like,
Jurassic
Park.
Oh,
And I was like, I knew this.
I actually thought there was going to be a romantic thing with them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's
That'd been
even
weird.
It's a little
Yeah,
weirder.
I don't
and
think
he's
so.
uncle,
Not anymore.
essentially.
Yeah.
Well, because like I feel like it was more like her 16, like he was 25 to her
Right.
17,
Right,
maybe
right.
30, not quite 40.
Could have happened. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that.
Maybe
I was like,
Yeah.
well, if she's not really Elias's kid, you know,
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
I actually have a clip from season 2, episode 5, which I thought was great because it's showcasing you and like what's going on in the family. It's like when I guess it's a older man from the cult wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, why do you laugh?
I don't know. It's so
It's what horror
funny
does to
me.
us.
It's like every time this old man did the best like voice work of getting stabbed.
Right on.
Mm.
Let's hear it.
Listen to it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be right over if you want to like turn around. So yeah, let's roll this clip. So the mask on the floor.
Love the masks.
Ah, the masks are great.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
And this is also actually implemented in season 2, like the writing on the screen and stuff. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, different director on this one.
Family is
Oh,
forever.
nice.
Well, because it goes with her journal.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
Please.
And there's a deserter.
You've got
You can't leave the family.
Nope.
Don't do that to Familia.
You would abandon us.
He also gives one of the best lines
You
ever
would defy
coming up.
and desert your family. We took you in when the bank took your house. When you had no one. No wife. No kids.
Those masks.
They're so creepy.
No money.
They're fucking. They really killed it with that.
Can't do it anymore. This is not a family. This is a butcher shop.
As it is written, it
Lip
shall
sync
be done.
battle.
It is written.
The price for desertion is death.
And here's our death of the week.
Right?
Totally. This could be a.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. Sorry.
He messed
Dun
up.
dun dun.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it's totally a dun dun dun.
And there's Taylor.
Yep.
So she's in the back. She's still a little like.
She waits a while.
Yeah, she waits.
Well,
Oh.
you don't want to be the first one to stab.
You don't?
Get greens on this,
Like,
yo.
you want to see where everybody's doing. And you're like, I want to do it.
But the first cut is the deepest.
Yes, Sarah.
No, but she just, I'm going to hold your shoulder, too.
Yeah, I love how she stabs him so like
Yeah.
sweetly.
Oh, look at him. Oh,
And
Elias.
shows her face, too. She's like, Dad, do you approve of me now?
Do you love
And
me
I'm
now,
like-
Daddy?
Yeah, he's like, all right, good job. Yeah.
Family bonding.
Right?
Right?
That's right. I'm proud.
Is there going to be a father-daughter trip?
All right, you can
Where's the
cut that now.
father-daughter trip?
man.
That'll be an episode.
That'd be cool. Oh,
Bring
man.
your daughter to work day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I called that never leave the family. Yeah, because
Yeah.
then that's what happens. Get turned to Swiss cheese, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
Stabbed up. Try to take off.
All right, so I want to rewind it back and I just ask you, so like, how did this role come to you? Like, how did it fall into your lap?
Man,
Or?
I had just moved back here from London, and I got a new manager, and she called me up, and she was like, "Hey, we want you to audition for this web series." And I was like, "Web series? All right. You know, what's so special about this one? Because there's a lot of web series."
And was this your first one for a web series too?
I did a web series back in the day, a comedy called Valley Peaks, and it was great, you know. But I hadn't done one since, and
Got it.
you know, when you hear web series, you're just like, oh, I don't know,
Yeah.
you know, like. And I was like, I don't know, and she was like, no, this is cool. It's like Eli Roth's company, and like, you know, Anthem Films, and you play the leader of the cult, so it's like, you know, it's not like a bit part. You're just like the main guy, and I'm like, all right, you know. So I went in, and I did my speech that you did,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and yeah, called me back the next day, and I was like, you know, he's like, you know, we like what you're doing. Let me see it again. So we did it again, and then he was like, call me again for the chemistry read for me and my wife, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk in, and she's sitting there, and she's like, hey, I was the last one to go in. And she was like, and the guy before me was like 6'5". He was like totally tall. I walk in, and she's like, this is gonna play your wife. This is Stephanie. And she stands up, and she's like 6 foot tall, right? And I'm like, well, not getting this one. Yep, chalk that one up for a loss. And he's like, no, it's cool. It's like, don't worry about it. Like, go up there and do your scene. And she's such a good actress. Like, I hope we see more of her because she's like such a pro. And we did this scene. And he was like, I'll be honest with you, you're the one I want. So all I have to do is just go by producers, and I think you're the one, you know? And I'm like, cool. So we just called me up the next day. He's like, you got it. So it was my first time playing a character like as complicated as that, because I think a lot of the first season, you're like, this guy is such an ass. You know, he's like, but I think a lot of people don't know that he's really vulnerable and he loves his daughter and he loves his family. But this is his only way he knows how to show it, is to like hand out over the power to her, and he has to show her. I mean, how does one teach their daughter to do what he does? He just has to lead by example, you know. But I think he's starting to come around. You know, at the end of season 2, he has a heart-to-heart with her, and the wife is like trying to get to him and be like, you know, just chill out a little bit. But he's stressed out. You know, the guy. There's a lot of levels to this dude. Really, really interesting. I can't wait to see what season 3 holds in store.
Yeah, especially with your brother being
I
in
know.
town.
Yeah.
Head to head. Yeah.
And
I got to go get her.
They touch upon it a little bit too, is possibly Taylor could be a deserter, and I think that's another thing
Right.
that he's most worried about.
Oh my goodness.
Because
Yeah.
wouldn't break, but would he break the rule for his own kid? you
Well,
know?
it's like this. You know, when you grow up and you're 17 years old, you always have like static with your parents. You know, and like so I'm being hard on her because I feel like this is the way to get through to her, but it's actually pushing her away. And then the mom is trying to reel it in, and I'm trying to like find different ways to get to her. You know, but in my mind, I'm doing the right thing.
Do you think Elias is capable of just trying to just talk it out with Taylor and just telling you, hey, I'm being so hard on you because I want you to take over because of this and this and this?
I think it's getting to that point to where he's starting to talk to her like a woman, you know, and not a child, you know, and he realizes that because I think he sees the potential in Taylor. You know, she's got this thing inside of her. I think this is what makes Sunny Family so interesting, is that she is battling inside, do I do what my family expects of me, or do I become my own person? You know, and it's like, how do you desert your family?
Yeah.
And can you do both? It's hard.
It's
you
like
know?
the twisted version of like some family wanting their like child to become a doctor when he wants to be like a rock and roll star.
Yeah,
You know?
and at one point it's like you owe this to your family, but
Yeah.
another point it's like, this is also my life. I don't know if, you know, you always go with your gut in life, right? And she's
Yeah.
like going with her gut, and she's like, I don't want to kill this kid. I like him. I'm like, got to. You know, everyone else pays their dues. You have to pay. You have to be an example. You're going to be the leader someday. You know?
That's also what I think is so great about this this series, because it speaks to so many adolescents who are possibly going through that same thing. Granted, not like as
but in a
twisted,
different
but
type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who like their parents put pressure on them to be something when in reality they're not sure. Like they're still so young, they're still trying to find their own way. Just like Taylor's trying to find her own way. Luckily, in season 2, you see her starting to develop her journal, so we see more of what's going on inside of her head than like external actions, like from what we saw in season 1.
Which is a nicely vague journal. I don't know if anyone's noticing that. I'm like, dude, that's the worst kind of evidence you could have. But she's never like, so we killed Bobby on Friday. She's more like broadly vague.
Yeah, so we have
It was an interesting
Substantial.
day today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're right that you kind of touch upon how he does kind of talk to her when he's like, I was just like you. I was stubborn and like, but headstrong, but that makes a good leader. So he's getting there.
Right.
But, and even then, like, the cult's not okay. They kill people, but
Kill bad people.
But yeah. And I remember, was it season 1 where it's like, we don't kill kids, and
Yeah.
someone was reenacting the cult.
Yeah.
And so you kind of like, I look at these cult members, I look at you, and I see like, okay, well, this family's not. Everyone has their mistakes, their problems, but it's like you're not 100% evil.
Well,
And
it's
we
like
see- and we-
Dexter.
and
They
we
kill
see-
only bad
yeah.
people.
And we see that this is like a coming of age
Yeah.
series for Taylor.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many layers to it, because like again, we have Elias's own struggle where like I'm trying to bring up this girl. We have Taylor's internal struggles of like who I'm trying to be.
Yep.
And then throw a wrench into everything. Hey, Elias has a brother.
Yeah.
and he's also a killer.
Kidnapped my daughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know?
double time. Yeah, what?
He has different leanings possibly too.
Yeah, because
Right.
like I believe he was the one who was going at it in the flashback. He was
so
more
if you
violent.
can imagine,
Yeah.
he's crazier than me.
That's crazy.
You know,
That's
so
crazy.
that just makes it everything even
But he
more
spared
dramatic.
the one girl in the forest,
Which
I know.
which was interesting.
which was weird.
Which was weird.
But I'm like,
why?
maybe there's motive for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
When we also haven't seen her father.
True.
Speculation
She is a
there.
mixed race kid.
Everybody-
So.
Yeah, I was about to say, she does look ambiguous as well. So it's
Could
like,
be a dad. He's teaching her.
So I want to get into like some like speculation, kind of like predictions in a sense, but let's keep it on with some of these questions though.
Okay.
So what did you find about this world that was like most intriguing to you, or something like spoke to you, where you're just like, oh man, like yeah, I really.
The whole cult thing.
Yeah.
You know, like it's always fascinating when you hear about like Scientology or even like Nazis or whatever, just kind of cult status, you know, where they just like are brainwashed and they believe what this person says. Even some kind of churches can be like that, you know, and a lot of like cult leaders have been played by characters that are just kind of like, you know, weird with crazy glasses and like stringy hair and, you know, and like kind of strange. And I just kind of wanted Elias to be an everyday guy that you saw at a grocery store and you wouldn't think twice, and that you might just get in a conversation with them in line. Next thing you know, you're getting initiated.
Yeah.
And those
Oh,
are the most
man.
dangerous kind.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, were you given any sort of backstory on how they started? Because, like, you know, killing just bad people, they are normal. Like, if you look at it very logically, like, okay, they kill bad people, that's fine, right? Right? No. But it's curious what makes them start that, to break from the social norm that says that's not okay. But were you given any sort of backstory?
I wish.
Okay.
Because it would have made my job a lot easier. I remember when I got to set, it was like everything was moving so fast.
Sorry, real quick. Can you just put your mic?
Oh, yeah.
thank
Everything
you.
was moving so fast that there was no really explanation. And I was like, and as an actor, you're like, well, I could either go ask him, or I guess I could do my job and make the shit up myself. You know what I mean? But then, like, once it started to progress, and like people really started liking the show, and after a couple episodes, I was like, damn, this is pretty intriguing. This is good. And I think that in the future they're gonna touch on that and like answer
I was
those
about to say,
questions. So I
yeah.
don't want to like give too much of it away, because I think it makes the story, because that's what's intriguing about it right now, is people don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
There was one flashback when it doesn't explain it, but I think it was probably him and his wife when they did maybe a first kill, was the guy who was pulled over on the side of the road, the chain. Is that supposed
Paper
to be
airplane.
your character and the wife, like
Yes.
kind of a first date thing almost?
Right. It's us. We're initiating a new person, and we, in order to do that, you have to take old blood, to shed new blood. No, the other one, like the van at the side of the road, not the dude walking. Oh.
That
Yeah,
said
it's
like
a-
the 80s or
it's a
something like that.
flashback,
I
yeah.
felt that was the parents possibly,
kinda
because
like
we never
doing
see
it.
the faces.
Right.
But they're holding hands when they walk away, so I thought it was the parents. Did you guys think it was
I wish I could
parents?
say
I
that.
thought it was the
Honestly,
parents.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it was just like,
I don't know.
They got the mask.
I don't
yeah.
know. Let's just say yes.
Okay.
That was us.
It
first
seemed
day.
like the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
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 In the beginning, there was these
But you can
people.
even tell, even from that episode, that the vibe was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it would have been nice if we could have like reshot it all. But it was so good the way it was. They just like stuck it in there, and people were like, "Wait a minute, what the hell's going on?" But then once the episode started to follow, they're like, "I don't even care."
Yeah.
You know, like let's just keep watching.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. I noticed that they do for that instance. It was just kind of like oh yeah, this is a killing that happened. Or also establishing that this has
April
been going
Fools,
on.
too.
Yeah.
This has been going on since like I believe it was the 80s or
Yeah.
yeah. So it's been around since the 80s.
Yeah.
And there's also like you can hear on the cop like last reported
2015.
yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay. So we get somewhat of a timeline, but then I think it even stretches back now with season 2 revealing that flashback with Roger and with Elias as teenage boys. So like maybe that's the start of the cult. Like maybe they as brothers started this, and Elias was one who kept it going, and Roger probably got sent off somewhere, or I'm not sure. There's a lot of speculation.
You're gonna find out. That's all I can say.
Ooh,
is
because
you're
I was
gonna
about to
find
say
out.
season 3
That's-
is
there's a
coming
lot
out.
of stuff coming out in season 3.
So is it more like
spring?
the origins? It feels like.
Right, and like how it came to be, and what caused the rift between the brothers, and I just hopefully it'll be like Death Wish, where I just go after him.
Oh,
Like,
there.
and get my daughter back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's supposed to be spring. I don't know yet. Like they're still trying to figure it all out. But
Yeah.
I mean, the response online has been crazy. Like especially on Facebook.
That's great.
Like, I had
That's- yeah, it's great.
I had no idea. I mean, every episode's like I think they're like 4 or 5 million
Yeah.
views each.
Cool.
Yeah, it did say
Yeah,
on
we
the,
watch on YouTube. You can watch season 1 and 2 as
As
their
super
own
the
videos.
supercut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did, and
yeah.
that was nice to watch it because they're so
Yeah.
short that it feels better to watch it.
Totally.
Altogether.
Yeah, it's kind of more enjoyable to watch it
Yeah.
that way. But yeah, Facebook is mainly the platform
Cool.
of the show. That's where everyone sees it.
Okay.
But yeah, YouTube's got the supercuts.
And you guys haven't shot for season 3 yet, or have you?
We haven't.
Okay.
No, we're supposed to shoot soon.
'Cause
How,
you guys
how
kno-
quickly is the turnaround?
Yeah, I was about to say you guys knock them out
Really
pretty
fast,
right?
man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real
Nice.
fast. The Anthem, they'll call us and they'll hand us a script and we'll shoot like 3 episodes in like 2-3 days.
When did you shoot the
This-
first episode, like the first season?
We shot it in October
of
last year.
last year.
Of last year, and then we
Wow.
shot
Whoa.
all of season 2 in like 3 days in
Wow.
January.
Dang,
Is it because
that's
they're
some
such short
smart
episodes that
filmmaking.
you're able to get
We can
like,
do it
a
all.
season, quote
Yeah.
unquote? 'Cause
Yeah,
they're-
yeah, but that's what I'm
they're
saying. We're
minis.
moving.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
because you
like,
can
everything's
rent the
fast.
house for like a couple of
Yeah.
days and just knock
Right.
everything out in
Ah.
there.
And I think the style of the show is so cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it sets it apart from other web series. You know, I think it's got like a really cool aesthetic, and I kind of like how it's got like like even the costumes and everything, the clothes. It's like kind of
feels
like 90s. Or
yeah,
something. I don't know.
like,
It's weird.
It feels like we oddly grimy.
Yeah,
to
like
me.
where are we? Like
yeah.
what year is it exactly?
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Like I was trying to figure that out too.
Yeah.
Like, is this modern or is this like it's set in the past? Because I don't think I've
No,
seen
they
anyone.
said 2015.
Yeah,
They
right.
did say 2015.
But I haven't seen
But-
anyone use a cell phone.
But it's like we're in like a parallel
I-
universe somewhere.
Well, and that's what cults do oftentimes
Yeah.
is they isolate people, and that's one
Right.
of the interesting things that's very accurate sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't want them to have cell phones and stuff.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't really do cell phones. I thought the
No.
daughter of the sheriff lady had a cell phone.
Oh, okay. So
I thought
I
she
just
did.
went over
Yeah,
my
she
head.
would
there.
have a cell phone.
Yeah.
I was like,
She's
where are these
fine.
cell phones
It's
at?
like the first state of the art cell phone, whatever year that is.
Yeah.
She has all the good stuff.
Yeah.
The
They
little
cast it really
Nokia
well.
one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like especially her like being the bad girl,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to like, but now she's like trying to get to the bottom of things.
Junior detective.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right,
Well,
yeah.
hopefully she's better than her mom.
Yeah, looking at the
Yeah.
arm. What can you tell me? What answers do you hide? All right, so we're near wrapping up. I just want to give you the platform to go ahead and just plug any future projects, anything you want us to check out.
Yeah.
Also, and like, what has this show done for you? And like, what's this show mean to you on a personal level?
I've grown to love it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest. At first, I was like, I don't like horror.
Yeah, exactly. So I
My
was like, wow.
mom doesn't want to watch it. You know, like and at first I really didn't even tell anybody until I started getting a little fan mail and like people like reaching out and be like, "Oh, you're Taylor's dad." You know, I was like, "What?" And then 'cause I would go on YouTube and I'd be like, people were watching it, but like not that many people. And then I went on Facebook and saw that there were millions and millions of people watching it. I was like, "What?" So then I started to like look at it a little differently and realize that people love horror.
Oh yeah.
They love it. So like what's cool about it for me is I think I'm starting to come over to the dark
Yeah.
side
Woo!
a little bit.
Yes, come touch the abyss.
Yeah. So I'm like starting to get
Dipped your
into
toes
it, man.
in and
you
yeah,
like it.
dude. So that's
Water's
why
nice.
it's special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice. Wow, man.
And yeah, any current projects or upcoming
Yeah,
ones?
yeah. So I am doing an action crime drama
Ooh.
called Riptide, starring Val Kilmer
Oh, yeah.
and Mina Suvari.
Oh.
And we're doing In the Name of the Gun in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And I co-wrote a Christmas comedy that we're
Oh,
shooting this
interesting.
winter in Santa Claus, Indiana, called The Best Worst Christmas Ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
And is that
Nice.
are you guys still finding distribution after that, or like,
Yeah,
you guys...
and what's actually good about that is Christmas movies are a genre as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
So like people love them.
We cover like a Hallmark show. The Christmas season is insane. They had like 30 movies in like in one month come
Yeah.
out for December.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
you just get in the mood. You can't help but not get in the Christmas spirit and watch Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And we love like National Lampoon's Christmas
Yes.
Vacation. That was like for me the ultimate Christmas movie. So we tried to use that as our template of what we want to do. So it's kind of like a throwback to those 80s comedies.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Dang. And then also, can you tell us where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm at Russell Q. Cummings on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram, Russell Q. Cummings.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you heard that, everyone?
Yeah.
Follow Russell, follow Elias, join the family.
Join the cult, and remember, don't be a victim.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't act like a
Don't
victim.
act like a victim, or
Don't
you'll
be
be
one.
one.
Yep, there
That's
it
actually
is.
just regular good advice.
Yeah.
It's like actually kind of poetic, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
My
Totally
mom
makes
always
sense.
says that.
Right on. Right.
Is your mom in my cult?
Yeah, maybe. She is in East Texas, so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys
Yeah.
accepting applications?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to talk to all
Membership.
4 of you guys
Oh,
afterwards.
man.
All right.
You found
You know,
found the Lord.
Scientology has really been working on me, so, you know, what are you bringing to the table?
Sonic
We'll
Cult-
talk.
The Sonic Cult Church.
We'll talk.
Nice.
Right on. All right, Lucretia, want to put yourself over?
All right, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one. And if you want to listen to me talk about Fallen, that's at Missing Outcast on Twitter and iTunes, Missing Out. That is with Tori J and Lex Michael. And then I also have a bunch of other stuff. I have my podcast, Mrs. Brightside, can be found on the same place. And this week's episode is actually a two-parter because I talked about horror with my Ash vs. Evil Dead co-host, Megan Salinas.
Nice.
So yeah, you'll see more of that next week, or hear more of it since it's audio only. But if you like to see and or hear me, I have the Red Room Horror Show now that'll be
Ooh.
available every Thursday. That's with Chauncey K, who couldn't be here today. So
Nice.
yeah.
Cool.
I like the rhyme.
Yeah.
That you just did. Hey guys, I'm Oliver Jenin. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. And if you like America's Next Top Model like me, follow me or check me out on the After Show on AfterBuzz TV at 8.
Nice. My name's Carrie Lane. You guys can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And tune in after this 6 p.m. over on AfterBuzz for AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. We're talking about Be the Beginning, which this show actually kind of has a bit of horror too. So we'll delve into that.
Yeah, it's very strange. Hello, my name is Anthony Becerra. You can find me everywhere at Tony B Tony _ sorry, I looked and it said Tony B Dead, my bad. Yeah, it's Tony B Tony _ just the letter B. And this is the only show I do, which is enough for me because I work full time here at AfterBuzz Studios. So you might hear my voice here and there, you know, over the comments, especially for the next one because I actually did see the 4 episodes. So yeah.
Yay.
Also, I want to thank you again, Russell.
thank
for
you.
Guys,
Yeah.
thanks for having me. This was
Thank
Oh,
awesome.
yeah,
you.
this is great.
Yay.
Thank you so much. And yeah, that'll wrap it up for Horror Movie News episode 21. See you guys next
See ya.
week. Peace out.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.